This episode was previously recorded in front of an imaginary studio audience.
Time for Fun Knife Friday!
Happy Fun Knife Friday, all you knife janners out there! Your old pal Skip DeSheau's coming back at you again. Coming back at you again. I thought this was rerun season, but apparently there's no such thing as rerun season in YouTube land. I probably should have read that contract a little closer when I started all this. I thought 33 episodes, go into reruns, go in the off season, next summer come back, do 33 more episodes. Don't work that way, gotta do one every week. Well, anyway, that's between me and Tobias. That's alright. I'm okay with it. You know what? I got a joke for you. Yeah, I heard this joke. Yeah, it's a knife joke. It's a knife joke, so it's okay, all right? It's, how does it go? Well, I'll get back to it. I forgot what the joke was. Anyway, Tobias said, we need to, mix things up a bit. We need to come up with a new idea. And, right away, I said, you know what this channel could use? And I was like, well, no, what? And I was like, we could use a little TNA on here. And his eyes just got really big, and he goes, that's a brilliant idea, Skip. And I thought, oh man, this is great, finally. And then next thing I know, he comes over, like, tomahawks and axes. You can talk about tomahawks and axes. So, apparently, Tobias doesn't know what TNA stands for, but I guess, I'm going to be talking about tomahawks and axes in the near future, but, not today, boys and girls. I'm just not really in the mood to talk about tomahawks and axes right now, but, this one here is by Colonial. That looks like one of those tactical tomahawks. And this is a boy's axe. Look at that. That's a boy's axe. It's got a 2.5 pound head on it. That's why it's a boy's axe. This is by Collins. Anyway, be talking about tomahawks and axes on Fun Knife Friday. It's Friday. It's knives. Why are we going to talk about tomahawks and axes on a knife show? But alright, I guess that's gonna happen soon. But anyway, oh yeah, now I remember what that joke was, because that's what I came here to talk to you about. EDCs, your everyday carry knife. Now here's a joke. Well, actually it's a riddle. A joke you just kind of say everything and then people laugh. A riddle is when you actually ask a question and then the person is supposed to go, I don't know, what's the answer? And then you tell them the answer, and then they laugh. So that's the difference between a joke and a riddle. Everyone just calls everything a joke these days. The art of telling jokes and riddles is just out the window now. Anyway, what we got here is a riddle. And yeah, remember that, because you know the Joker, the riddle always gave riddles. Remember that in the old Batman show? But the Joker, he just pulled pranks and jokes on Batman. But the riddle, he would riddle me this. So, I'm going to riddle you this. What's the difference between your everyday carry knife, your EDC, and your wife? Give up? Well, you can swap out your EDC without having to pay alimony. Can't do that with your wife. Yeah, I know from experience. Anyway, that's what I'm here for. I'm thinking for the new year, I'm wanting to swap out my EDC. Now, this is the knife I've been EDCing. You know what it is? I already swapped it once. Originally it started off as the Undertaker 3 Bowie, but I swapped it out for this one here, which is very much like the Undertaker 3 Bowie, but it's called the Escort Bowie. Nice knife, Jim Frost design, and I'm going to go over this also in the future because Jim Frost designed at least 5 knives that look like this knife. The Undertaker 3 Bowie, the Escort Bowie, a couple other knives that I'll talk about later. Some of them you already saw on the show. But really nice knife. I really like the handle on it. And I went and put my little wrap thing there on the sheath here, the nylon sheath there. So that's what I've been carrying for a very short time now, for about a month or so. My Escort Bowie with the rasping sheath. Thinking about swapping it out though, because I saw this knife over there, and Tobias has had it for a couple months, and apparently he's lost interest in it. This is the Gil Hibbons single shadow, also called a silver shadow, I think. And there's also a black shadow version of it, but it's the single shadow. Nice little dagger. I think we all know what it's supposed to be, or what it was, what he ripped off in order to come up with the single shadow. Got the skull crusher pommel down there, wire wrapped handle, nice chrome blade, but kind of a plain leather sheath with somebody else's name on it. So people might look at that and go, "Oh, why are you carrying Gil Hibbons' knife?" And it's like, well, it wouldn't be mine. It wouldn't be his knife if it's on my boot. It could be worn on a boot. This is a big boot knife, and you know, it really is not going to work very well with my flip-flops. So could you imagine? How come they don't make a flip-flop knife? They need to make a flip-flop knife. Tired of boot knives. I want a flip-flop knife. Hear that, Smoky Mountain Knife Works? Come out with a flip-flop knife. Bet you can't. Yeah. Hey, there's a challenge for you, flip-flop knife. Anyway, should I swap out this knife for that knife? That's my question for you. Should I stick with the Escort Bowie or go with the Gil Hibbons single shadow? Good choices. And don't tell me this, just keep both. No, I want one knife for my everyday carry knife. And I don't want to have an everyday carry dagger and an everyday carry Bowie. I know I can do that, but no, I want an everyday carry fixed blade. One everyday carry fixed blade. Which one would you choose? And don't come up with some other one. I don't want to hear about that whatever knife you're thinking of, like, oh, you should just get the Essie Hunglas or something like that. No, between these two knives, which should I declare as my everyday carry fixed blade? Now, I was thinking of also switching out my pocket knife, but no, as soon as I grabbed it, put it in my hand, flicked open the blade. Just gonna have to leave that cough in there. Flipped open the blade, saw this one. It's like, nah, man. The Green Skull Stiletto by Black Legion with the bottle opener. Yeah, it still rules. It's gonna be, unless something else changes, this is gonna be my everyday carry pocket knife. Even got a little clip on there so I can clip it on a pocket. Knives that I was thinking about were not a bad idea. It's a crushed ice stiletto with the crisp blade. I was even thinking about the peasant knife. You know, I can open it one hand. So I was thinking of that too. But no, I'm sticking with the Green Skull Stiletto. In any case, there you have it. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. In the future, you're going to be seeing some TNA on the channel too. Tomahawks and axes. Sorry, I tried, but it's tomahawks and axes. But the real question is, which of those two knives should be my everyday carry fixed blade? Ain't going to cost me any alimony money to swap it out, so there you go. Skip out. Another Fun Knife Friday in the books. Remember, if your knife's not fun, you're doing it wrong. Skip out.
If your knife's not fun, you're doing it wrong, and Skip Out are registered trademarks of Skip DeSheau's Enterprises. This has been a Cat Production presentation. All rights reserved.